Oh, just landed. Just landed from a different portal. Oh man, what a trip. Where's my beverage? I'm gonna grab my cool, refreshing beverage. Had a long trip from a different dimension. You already know. You already know. I'm an interplanetary galactic journeyman. That's what we doing. That's what we doing. You know. First and foremost, I want to greet everybody in advance. Godfather J6, salute. Alan Fizzer May, salute. Top of the day, hope you have a glorious day. All of you, you know. Wow, what a trip. What a trip. Let me tell you. Anyway, before I talk about my intergalactic escapades, I'm going to bring it back down to what we deal with over here in this space, in this crypto space. My goodness, man. My goodness. I feel like as as content creators, as a content creator, I've been doing this for a while. I enjoy it. I just enjoy creating content, right? The whole time I've understood up to before I created content, I knew that whatever I decide to talk about, in this case with cryptocurrency, while I'm creating blogs and doing all these things, it's important to think about what you're creating, right? Think about the message. Think about whatever it is that you're talking about, as a responsible adult should do. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you don't know who's listening. You simply don't know who could be listening to you. And you'll have an audience of some kind, whether it's one person or a billion people or whatever. Someone's gonna hear because of the nature of how these social media platforms are engineered. It's whatever. YouTube, you can find it everywhere, in so many places. Um, Someone may take heed to what you're saying. Someone may very well pay attention to something that you're talking about and act on it. You know, I found in crypto, people, it's like a toss up. Sometimes you'll find individuals who take a certain approach, right? They want to appeal to your comedic senses. They want to make jokes, right? They want to be very incredibly entertaining, right? And that's fine. Then you'll have other content creators that are more serious in nature, depending on the subject. And I'm talking about within crypto, right? And then you have us, like the audience, because I'm also a viewer, right? I view tons of content, especially in crypto, tons of bloggers and streamers, etc. The information that you get, the information that's being said, the information becomes part of your research. When we hear, do your own research, well, where are you going to find most of the research if you don't have time to really sit down and study and peruse through anything? First of all, you're going to go straight to the internet. On top of that, you might get into some type of app, find a YouTube streamer, whatever, TikTok, blah, 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 and be the recipient of a deluge of information, right? So then where now you have to kind of sift through everything and allow it to make sense for you. So you can take your adjusted, calculated risks. Because for some people, for many people, I like to say, I haven't done any study on this, but it just seems like this is how it is. It's not like a theory that's been tested that I know of. The research for many people just goes as far as a YouTube video. It may not even be a complete video. It may be like a minute, 5 minutes, not a minute, but 5 minutes worth of information. And that's as far as a person's research will go. And they will make a decision based on what you say. Right? People don't take certain things serious enough, believe it or not. Because I guess the nature of the way crypto is, right? Folks like to create, again, attach humor in a sense to their monies, which for me, I find that a little bit contradicting in nature. Like, it's weird. It's like a paradox. Because in our normal, actual lives, right? When the way we earn, the way we, generate revenue or whatever, how we work for our money, is it really a laughing matter? But in crypto, you find the opposite, or you'll find the energy to laugh and to make jokes. And regarding money is all throughout, permeates throughout the entire space. It's prevalent. We see it with what? The meme culture. Right? Now, when we talk about memes, GIFs or GIFs, the 10, 5-second clips that, people have just become so accustomed to when we're chatting in these social media voice chats and apps, memes and all this stuff, right? It's like this, it's become its own science in a way. Right? Well, you have something that started, for example, with the coin that comes to mind as far as memes. Because when I was exposed to crypto and I'm looking through the list of the coins that were out there, you have, the whatever top 10 or top 20, top 100, whatever. And then all of a sudden you go down the list and you see the face of a dog coin. Of course, it's like, dismiss that. That's just, something that was actually created to be comical as a joke. Now that's become like somewhat of a mainstay in this thing that's looking like it's becoming a culture as far as cryptocurrency. And then you have subcultures within the crypto, like DeFi. There are people who are in crypto who don't care for DeFi, who don't respect it, don't believe in DeFi. So you have subcultures in this crypto space. Now you have meme culture, right? In my opinion, right? It's already hard enough when you're coming in a no corner, entering this space, a no corner coming into this space. You don't know whether you're coming or going. You might get hit with something like Bitcoin first, right? Maybe Ethereum first, who knows? But more than likely, you might talk about something that just took off 2 years ago, like a Shiba Inu, a meme coin, like a Doge, a meme coin. Oh yeah, I heard about crypto. I got Doge. You got Shiba Inu, this and that. That's their introduction, right? From an angle of being like humorous and joke and playful and ha ha he he, dismissing the fact that this is about generating income, making money on top of your money, however you want to make it. This is about creating, if you're serious and you're a forward long-term thinker, you want to build a revenue stream to your liking that can exist beyond your days, that you can pass down, right, to someone else. A lot of people now have attached a dog coin to help you do that. This is how the culture, I guess, the space has evolved in a way. Maybe not to many of our liking, but this is just what it is. Because what we have to understand, right? In these markets, they're made up of people. Of course, they're bots, but who created the bots? Right? People. All kinds of human beings, all types of people, all types of personalities, made up of everybody who's good, everybody who does good things, the extreme opposite, and then you find people in the good, bad, and ugly you find in crypto, because it's made up of what? Human beings who create the market, and all kinds of activities are taking place. You have people who love to hold, you have people who enjoy staking, you have people who love to trade, like that's what they do. Right? You have people who just buy and sell, who don't know what they're doing. You have people who love memes. Now, memes, it's all about memes now, right? I get all that. Because this is what makes up the market. You got all kinds of stuff, from the most noble to the most gangster of gangster, wicked, evil. You know what I'm saying? You find it in market. This is what you find in life. It's just a representation of what really happens in our daily lives, whether we want to accept it or not, right? No one person controls the market unless you're some type of divine entity, which is a topic for a different discussion altogether, right? It's made up of all kinds of stuff. So you got to just kind of deal with what you like and keep it moving. You can't control things and stuff like that, and you know, who can come in, especially in a space where we try to say, oh, it's decentralized, right? Decentralized. There are no headquarters. There's no central point of access or figurehead or governing body that can dictate and regulate the comings and goings and the ongoings of what's going on in this space. This is why you have alphabet letter agencies trying to clamp down on what's going on over here, but they literally can't, and they're scrambling. They can't figure it out. It's like their worst nightmare has become a reality. So it's like, it's either, if you can't beat them, join them. That's just my take on it. I don't think these alphabet letter agencies are going to be able to control anything going on over here, especially the way it's set up. You have certain things that are purported to be completely decentralized. How do you control that? You have some things that are supposed to be maybe 90% decentralized and 10% centralized. How do you control these things, right? And then you have the greed factor. Because make no mistake about it, this clamp down, right? The governing bodies, these alphabet boys and girls are running around trying to scare people. They want to pretend, they want to become like some kind of boogeyman monster to scare you out of your crypto. They want their cut. They want their money. It's about greed. It's about furthering their control, their power, right? You can't forget these things. These things are present, right? So you have these things going on. And then it goes back to what I was saying as far as like, okay. Accountability, responsibility. What do you, as a person who speaks to the world as a creator, who then becomes a quote unquote influencer by default, whether you want to believe that you are or not, you become that if you have an audience and they listen to what you're saying. What is it that you're giving to the world? What type of information are you giving? Anything that could be of a helpful, beneficial medicinal nature, or you giving something that's just going to dupe the people and is going to yield destructive results and rug everybody, right? So you got to find a way to understand that, consciously believe and understand you own what you speak. Like whatever, you're accountable. Take onus of what you're doing, right? What am I talking about with all this, right? Just bear with me. Yo, shout out to the chat. What y'all talking about? What y'all talking about? What y'all talking about? Rolando in the building. Black Levin in the building. Black Levin in the building. Rolando in the building. Alan Fizzerman just dropping gems. I laugh because I'm jaded with the amount of stupidity I have to deal with every single day. That's regular. We all do have to deal with weakness, whack sauce. But let's get into the whole thing with the meme coins. The meme. Well, it's not about just meme, but it's attached to meme. Shout out to people who, that's their thing, right? But my thing is this. In this community right here, we're so fragmented right now. I mean, this is something that's going to be noted and go down in the future, in the annals of whatever dealing with this community right here, man. Because if I would not have thought, like even as much as 6 months ago, that everything would have flipped 180 degrees the way it is right now. It's all about trading versus everything else. Trading has taken a toll where it's like everything is about 95% trading, 5% do whatever you want to do. Like going against everything that the thought of one man got us to where we are today. The idea and thought of one person got us to where we are today, as far as like, we got a time deposit token, we got a layer 1 blockchain that's a fork of Ethereum, we got a DEX attached to it, this and that, incentive token if you're farming, blah, blah, blah. And how trading, if you don't know what you're doing, can really be harmful for folks like me who are trash at trading. I have no trading skills, and nor do I care. It's too stressful for me. I tried to trade before. I failed miserably. So I left it alone, right? Okay. I caught a stream. Two streams, right? From two different content creators. One is a RH Maxi. Yo. One is the other is not a RH Maxi, right? These terms, you gotta love the internet. The internet is undefeated. These terms, there's so much entertainment. If you find there's always a silver lining throughout whatever drama is going on. And I try to be as impartial as I can, even though I like what I like. And it's just funny, like stuff that I see cracks me up, right? Entertainment, because you gotta live life in a way where it's also, lighthearted. Everything can't be serious 24/7, right? So they call people like me RH Maxis, right? And it cracks me up. It cracks me up. It makes me laugh. So it's this RH Maxi. Wells Only did a stream, right? Shout out to him, right? You know how he breaks stuff down. It's like, he's no hair on his tongue. He just says what he says and take it or leave it and keep it moving, right? A lot of people just can't deal with that aggressive type of thing. It's not even about that for me. It's about the information that's been shared, right? I'm giving names to give some type of context, right? Because I find that without names, folks don't really have a hard time connecting the dots. And it's not to give names to just like create drama. It's to give names again for reference purposes, right? You can go back and go to the stream, because I'm not one to say, oh no, don't give this person any views or likes. I am not that guy. Wells only dropped his latest stream and he just expressed his views on things going on and his stance and this and that. Then you had another group of people who are not meme, who are not RH Maxis, the likes of B Roots. The name alone cracks me up. This guy cracks me up. Okay? This guy is like, his lane is what he does. And from the last 2 to 3 years, I've seen him attach himself to meme token sort of like culture, right? Like I've seen it. He used to promote tokens like Cult and different coins back in 21 and 22. And since then, he's just a part of the ecosystem, but he's not an RH Maxi. So he took offense. He took offense to many things that Wells was talking about, as if Wells was talking about him, which Wells, if you know Wells, he doesn't speak about anybody directly on nothing. So it's like if the shoe fits type of situation, wear it. Okay. I try to see both sides of the coin. I try to see, right? I try to understand, let me see this perspective and let me see that perspective, right? The whole thing about B Roots got pissed, not like in a serious way, but he was annoyed with the Fed's comment that Wells said, right? Wells was like, after a while, if you guys who have been in the Hex community just flip, all of a sudden you just change up and you go against delayed gratification. You don't defend RH. You start, not only do you not defend Richard Hart, but you appreciate this whole thing of, selling, not staking. You're trading. You're engaging in these activities that have to date yielded negative results for so many people in crypto, right? And you're supposed to be somebody who've known better. If you're supposed to know better, ideally you're supposed to do better, right? He thinks that, these people are just like, they're disingenuous. He calls them feds. And I could appreciate that sentiment and understand where he's coming from 100%. Me, I can. B Roots came out B Roots came out with a police jacket, like a vest with a badge. He called himself, he thought he was like being targeted. To me, it was satirical in nature, parody, right? Like, it was just like, y'all are, I see the two sides. I see this two-side argument that's just brewing here. But we're kind of like supposed to be on the same playing field, but it's not. We're playing two different games, right? And some of the things B Roots are saying, it's like, I guess in the spirit of comedy and humor, it wasn't quite accurate. You got to be fair too. You got to be fair. They're saying like, Wells hasn't been around in 2 years, and all of a sudden you drop a video talking about people are feds and all that. Wells has been dropping videos the entire 2 years, so that is like, it's weird, like I didn't, like, and then B Roots is clowning, making jokes, saying stuff like, if you want to listen to a talking skull that made a bad call with Hex, like, wait a minute, okay, but the man owns up to that. Like, Wells owns up to the fact that, yeah, he made a bad call. Who in the world makes perfect calls every time? Like, who's right all the time? Like, he it's like, okay, he made one bad call. Hex going to $10 at the bottom of 2021 when everything was euphoric. But guess what? He made it publicly. A lot of people were making even more incredible calls silently in Telegram groups. You know what I'm saying? He just made it public, and it was what it was. But the whole point was, it's not just about making a call and holding a token. It's about like, yo, the whole thing with this thing is to lock it up. This is what it's for. When we celebrate, not even celebrate, or when we highlight and praise 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, folks, you got to always remember that was 10,000. It reached 10,000x in price appreciation alone, sure, without staking. The T-share rate at the same time went up, they say, over 15,000x. Staking doubled, it went up 20,000x. So 10,000x, okay, it went up that high from January 2020 at its all-time low, 4 zeros and a 5, to 623 days later, it went up to 55 cents. That's if you're holding it. We get that, right? We get that, like, right? At some point, you do have to make a decision on when you take profits. You have to sell all these things. You're right. It's not always about like hodl till you become a statue, right? Like you just die. You just delay gratification, but you're eating mud pies, right? Like you're suffering towards your delayed gratification that you will never manifest. You'll never yield. You'll never experience. No, at some point you got to enjoy, you got to live life too. The whole time you're supposed to be living life, but at the same time you're supposed to have things set up in a way that works for you, where you take profits, do whatever it is that you got to do, right? So this thing, since the whole thing with meme coins took, I mean, like Shiba was out of here. Shiba did something incredible. 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 No debating. We understand that. Doge as well. No debating. But Shiba did something bananas. But the thing about it is, how many other meme coins do you think? How many other meme coins do you think are going to attract the same levels of success? Like, we have to be for real. When you're thinking about wealth generation, revenue streams, long-term, residual income, passive income, building wealth, compounding, all this stuff. Do you incorporate meme tokens into your repertoire as like the bulk of everything you got to do just to get to where you got to go on a long-term basis? I don't think so. Like, that's just a thing where people use to get their quick flips, get their quick multiples on top of their ROIs in the short term. I don't hear many people talking about Pepe like that anymore, right? Like they were 2-3 months ago. That was the thing. I get it though. I get it. It's the nature of what it is. Like, I'm not saying don't get involved or do get involved. I'm just saying these things are present here. There's nothing anybody can do about it. They actually grab the attentions of people. So if you want to talk about onboarding and mass adoption, sure, that helps. But if we talk into the world, about these things too, and then going against folks who want to believe in certain core principles that have become core principles, delaying your gratification, earning yield on your assets, respecting your assets, locking them up over a period of time so that you can generate decent APYs and even daily APRs if you know what you're doing while you're farming, etc., etc. You want to hold on to those things. It doesn't mean that you're dismissing everybody else, in a sense. Like, it just means that you focus on what you need and what works for you. You know, like I've been very vocal on stuff I don't like watching, listening to the Wells Only, the last stream he had, Wells Only, go check it out. You know, and the guy and B Roots did a stream. It was very entertaining for me because I saw both parties. I laughed because both had their own positions and perspectives. But if you're gonna argue and debate either side, at least, make sure that the information you give out is accurate. Sure, the dude said $10 hex, but it wasn't just about a $10 hex on its lonesome. It was about at least staking the thing, right? And sure, but many people will never admit that they had even higher predictions at the end of 2021. He just had the balls to say it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't have the risk tolerance to get into memes like B Roots does. He does things that many people don't have the risk tolerance. Like for me, I have a risk aversion towards that because I know what I can deal with and what I can't. Right? But the whole thing is about just really having the information that you, in order to really try to argue or debate, make sure that the information you have is accurate and strong. Because man been creating content the whole time, you know, the whole time, educating the people on graphs and mathematics and charts and the functionality of T-share, etc., 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 etc. All the while still haven't changed his narrative. And even the meme token guy, he hasn't changed his narrative too. That's why I'm talking about this, because to a certain extent, I'm recognizing there's a lot of people in the Hex community that have since switched their views. They flip-flopped, right? They did a 180-degree change, right? They're going against folks that celebrated Richard Hart. They backed him up. They were all about, everything Richard, everything Richard. Now they're become his arch nemesis, his enemies. Richard is just a failure to them. And they think it's cool and they think they can't be seen, and they make the mistake of just putting the message out there as if people are not going to remember. And it's weird to me because Hex still operates the same way it does. We understand that it's down 99% from all-time high or whatever, but it's not down 99% from its all-time low. I mean, look at the chart. Look at what we have. Look at what we're dealing with here, right? To acquire a T-share at one point, you needed 10,000 hex. Now, to acquire a T-share, you have to but you have to acquire 29,000, damn near 29,300 hex for a T-share, meaning that functionality, that little piece of operating code moves up constantly. It never goes down. So a person over time has to acquire more just to have the same T-share. And if you have a T-share, that means you locked it up. That means 00 UTC is cha-ching every day. You're receiving yield every single day. And we always know what goes up has to come back. What goes up has to come down and go right back up. So when the bull market does resurface, we're going to have a different conversation today. This is now a time where people are experiencing maximum pain and don't understand why. Well, this is par for the course, right? You can't expect maximum gains. You can't expect, look at what Bitcoin by itself did in its 15-year trajectory. Next month will be 15 years since the white paper was pulled out. That's crazy. 15 years. The first Genesis block was January 3rd, 2009. So next year, 2024, January 3rd, it'll be 15 years. The blockchain's been ripping and rolling, right? But look at what it took, what it went through. It's deep, drastic capitulation, drastic over 15 years just to reach its all-time high. And it's not really doing too bad at the price levels that it's at right now compared to a 000 digit number back in 2009. I mean, come on, we can't, you know what I mean? But the thing about it is you have to deal, you had to endure. You had to endure all of those ups and downs. All you had to stomach through all of that, right? Can we do that now? What I understand now, and is more and more clear to me, what can help you deal with the stress, the stress and the fear and the anxiety of like these bear market blues is just dealing with something like this where you don't have to even think about it anymore. Where, example, locking your hex is supposed to be boring. Time deposit, boring. Locking it up, boring. For a period of time, every day you're receiving something, boring. Yeah, but on your way to stardom and success, you know, it's a blessing for that travel to be boring, where you don't have to really be clamoring every single day, stressed out, thinking about should you buy, should you sell, or should you hold. That takes away from your quality of life. And we have this here to help us not have to think about that as much, right? And just do things and focus on things in our lives that really matter, that are important. Everything doesn't have to be excitement. You have folks that they just enjoy the thrill, and that's fine. That's why you have things like meme coins. Meme coins remind me of penny stocks in the legacy world, even though stocks and crypto are two entirely different things. Entirely different things. Meme coins, they engender again humor and comedy and this and that, but and quick flips, because those things, like again, some of them have brought returns that are unimaginable. But will all of them do that? So it's like you got to pick and choose what the winner is and what it's going to be, you know, because of the success Sheba has gotten. That's why it's still a thing, and they have a huge community, right? Because of what it's done. This is part of the reason why, this community is where it's at and it's expanding, because of what Hex has brought, what Hex has done. Now we have a layer one blockchain. Now we have a DEX. Now we have people who build it on Pulse Chain, right? Who built on Pulse Chain. And there'll be more to come, because the fees are so much more affordable than anything dealing with Ethereum right now, right? The time is going to tell, we're going to see what Ethereum does in the future. But in the same time, we have Pulse. We have Pulse Chain, right? To help us achieve our own personal objectives. We're lucky, we're fortunate, like we're really blessed. Like this is really what it is, And it took me, this was a great pause for me, as far as like, moment of a break for me from really going at people like Liquid Loans who still haven't launched, going at people like Power City who still haven't launched. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all got some nerve. Y'all got some nerve, haven't launched yet. There are people who sacrifice millions of dollars for y'all. What are y'all doing, man? 9-inch, driving a car around a track or whatever, driving some road, giving out eggplants. 9-inch supposed to represent a phallic symbol. Ha ha ha, he he. But millions of dollars will give it. You got the guy from Mintra talking about he can't wait for October to come around. Suggesting what? Everybody's still playing a no expectation magical game. And you got a certain subset of people who's still waiting, who just gave up their money for no expectations, copying what Richard did, and still waiting. They're still waiting. See, I don't mind the certain rhetoric. If you've done something, but if you talk in rhetoric and you have nothing to go by, no track record, no foundation, no reference, nothing to show, then it's just in the real world. I mean, this is what we call wasting your time. I don't care who they are, and I'm talking about these people who still haven't launched their projects yet, that have gotten sacrificed. That's what I'm talking about. And it's gonna be like that until they do. It's gonna be like that because the awareness, again, some people don't care. Some people wrote it off as a loss. Maybe not. But how fair is it when you were told, or the rumor was a year ago, that the liquid loans was completed? It's documented like that as far as rumor. And I don't like engaging in gossip, but you know how Twitter is. It's a cesspool for drama, even though you could share information, but people use it to argue with one another and build their popularity and cry when Richard unfollows them. When those guys left liquid loans a year ago, and over a year ago, in July, they left liquid loans. People inquired, yo, what's going on? What happened? What's going on? And then it came back to the person like, oh, no worry, everything is fine. Liquid loans is complete. We're just waiting for Pulse Chain to launch. Wow. I don't see any spaces on Twitter. Like, I don't know these people. Like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like these liquid loans. I don't have no again allegiance. So I don't favor any of these. I don't favor scam like behavior. I don't favor any of that. Never will. I don't favor long cons. Never have. And I learned a long time ago, this is a thankless job, but I don't do this for likes. I don't do this for popularity. I don't do this to be thanked or recognized. I just speak what I speak because it feels like the right thing to do, along the lines of this, these things right here, y'all. Like, it's crazy. There are many projects that have sacrificed, that have since scammed the people on Pulse Chain. This shouldn't be a surprise. It shouldn't be a surprise. Not only that, you still have these individuals that still haven't, like what are each day that goes by is just like more indicative of Shady McGrady. Everything is Shady McGrady. Like, yo, what are y'all doing? Shifty. It's suspect. Each day that goes by, it's not about, closer and closer to mainnet launch. For me, each day that goes by is just closer to the complete rug. It's closer and closer to the final scam. Don't talk to me about a beta testnet. It's a beta testnet leading to the final mainnet scam. Point blank period. Point blank period. What y'all talking about in the chat? Tin Top in the building. Salute to you, Tin Top. Gas fees and PLS. Yeah, for real. The fire hydrant, a dragon. Yeah, it's crazy. It's cool. B Roots cracks me up, y'all. They said, let's call B Roots a necessary evil. He cracks me up. You can't, I get what he's saying. Even 2, 3 years ago, when I first saw him in this community, I don't know how long he's been, but like his whole approach, his whole thing was just like, his strategy, his lane. He found his niche that he's, I guess, successful in, his skill. And hey, you know, like he hasn't changed in that sense. In that sense, like to me, which is something I gotta at least say, okay, well, yeah, you've been on that type of time with cult and all these other coins, and this is what you've been doing, and you've gotten a great deal of pushback, and even to this day, nobody was really talking about him like that, but he took offense and jumped on a stream yesterday, and went at RH Maxis. I get it, yo, but he at least shows you who he is. A lot of these people here that when I got in, I'm like, oh, these guys, man, you've been holding on to this pillar of this place y'all call Hexaco, and you take it very serious. And you come to find out, no, they're not taking it serious. In fact, they've lied to everybody, including themselves. They'll sell their bags. They'll talk about other things. There's nothing about staking anymore. Nobody talks about staking anymore like that. People do, but it's not celebrated, right? They allowed certain things once the chain launched, you just saw almost like an exodus. Folks just left and talked crap on their way out. And some remain in the community and continue to talk crap to divide. Just sit, talk crap. Not only talk crap, but talk crap about the founder and divide the community. And wondering like, wow, y'all really, and then y'all talking about the community needs leaders. The community doesn't need any leader like y'all. The people who talk about the community needs leaders are not the leaders that the community needs. The community needs to lead itself, in my opinion. Because you got a contract, for example, that you cannot change, you cannot improve, you cannot upgrade, right? That just simply works. It's up to you to decide whether you want that contract to work for you or not. You don't need anybody telling you to do anything. So what leader do you need? It's just simple. But people folks don't want to exercise critical thinking. They don't want to think for themselves. They don't need any leaders. Leaders of what? Leaders of what? To do what? To hear themselves talk in circles? And not only that, but you're talking about you need leaders. This is what was said. I don't hear it being said as much anymore, but this is what the talk was before the Alphabet Agency dropped a bomb on the community. Everything was about, rally and leader, because elephant not in the room, Rich is not around. We need leaders. Why? Why do you need leaders? You afraid? Do you not believe in what's here? In other words, if Richard were to just disappear into the ether, pun intended, would Hex still not operate? Would the blockchain just disintegrate? Would the electricity just go off? Computers shut down globally? The worldwide? No, it's just like it's what it is. It would take a hit. I think the space would take a hit. Dude just disappears, it'll take a hit. But doesn't mean it won't be here. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you can't every day live your life thinking about what's so and so going to say today, and I'm gonna base my financial destiny on the words of a person who's not RH, right? Who didn't do anything close to what RH has done. But because I believe that this community needs leaders, I'm going to just trust in what? Trust in words from folks who have no nothing. That's why I go at these liquid loan people. Like, what experience have you shown? Have you had in crypto? Where do you even stake X? Do you believe? Do you what? Power City, like weird. What track record have you shown? The spirit of venture capital style, angel investing, startup spirit energy that you're bringing onto the crypto space. But you also have to understand, when you give people all this money, they could have the most noble intentions. But when they have the bag, they got the money already. Like I said in my previous stream, folks won't be heavily incentivized to deliver anything on their promise because they got the money. This is not new. This happened many times over and over and over and over and over and over again, and will continue to happen. But y'all don't put the pressure on where the pressure needs to lie. You don't need to put pressure on people who appreciate talking about Hex, Pulse Chain, and Pulse X. The pressure don't need to go there. None of it. But we become the minority versus the majority of traders. Literally, in every sense of the word. Double entendre, whatever you want, all of it. It's weird. Very bizarre. But such is life. This is where we at. This is what's going on. Dark Lover, join late, watching on catch up. That's what's up. P. Copies are gonna kill the PLS. I guess it's a scam chain. I don't mind the bear market board on more low prices. Freedom HW says, yeah, it's mind-boggling, man. Al Merlos, Elliot, the fire. Yeah. The you know what? I'm kind of happy. Well, I won't say happy because that'll be a lie. As far as the people who turn on RH, I accept the fact that they turned on RH, and I'm glad that this bear market revealed that. Right? Because it shows you that some people just they're no longer interested in really being a part of something, and that's okay. Whether you don't have the fortitude, right, the conviction, you're not really committed to the situation. Things may change. Maybe you have your experiences that cause you to just have a different outlook. Your worldview was updated in a weird way. Cool. It's just when those same people go at the folks that want to, RH Maxi, who stakes a hex token, and if you use the Hedron protocol, you're earning Hedron. And if you want to, use your Hedron and stake it, Hedron, you're earning ICOSA. And if you want to take your ICOSA and stake your ICOSA, you're earning your ICOSA and Hedron, right? Those tokens have nothing to do with RH, but they're completely tied to the T-share rate, for example, right? Right? Are you a maxi if you got those things going on? It's like it's weird. And Alex, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. You may not ever answer this, Alex. Synergy, Hedron founder, developer extraordinaire. You may not ever want to answer this, but Buck from Fiat, famous whatever, that, PH, he said that he doesn't believe that the T-share rate will magically improve the price of Hex. And Alex, what do you think about that, Alex? Right? You've since supported Buck in his endeavors to rally, create leaders, and build and create a narrative on supporting builders and developers. Shout out to y'all for at least launching something and not having people wait with no expectations from sacrifice monies that they sent y'all. That's not the case with y'all. I'm saying shout out to y'all. But Alex, what do you think about what Buck said as far as that goes with the T-share rate not helping the price of Hex go up? Because that directly impacts Hedron and ICOSA in a sense where it's not that it'll what I'm saying is, because Hedron and ICOSA are created and function in a way where they're tied, they're bonded to the T-share rate, I should say, right? Better word, better than tied. They're bonded. And this guy's saying he doesn't see how the T-share rate will magically improve the price of X. So he's saying he doesn't believe in Hedron and ICOSA. And you, the founder, and you creating something ICOSA Hedron to help interoperability between Ethereum and Pulse Chain. So Alex, like, really, what are we talking about here? You got a community, and I've said this before, you got a community that appreciates what you created. And you got this guy from a subset within the ecosystem who says he doesn't believe in T-share helping price of X go up. And you pretend like you don't hear it and it's whatever. This is not about bad faith, so don't even think about that as a narrative. This is about, right, offering feedback, because this is a person who also, like you've seen it. If you don't understand how T-share rate is going to help the price of Hex go up, you don't believe in RH. So you're going to continue to, you have that stance, Buck. You got that stance. But Alex, you're not defending that? That means you're not defending Richard Hart. I don't understand what you're doing, bro. And like I told you, if I'm native staking or not even, if I'm doing HSI, HMI, or whatever, Hex mining instance now with these terms, alphabet agency, legalese or scrutiny or avoid, these terms, we mining, publishing, all this. If I'm using your protocols to lock up my Hex and I'm earning your tokens, well, what? I might have some type of reason to ask you, what do you think about what Buck said? There's so much going on in this space, it's not even funny. It's weird. Weird. You're not gonna challenge Buck because he got your pools over there in his ecosystem. But this is a spirit of intellectual, jousting or of some sort. Not really battle, but you conversing, sharing ideas. You got to tease through these things to get through a breakthrough, right? So folks don't want to really push each other or do whatever because their monies might be mixed up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird. It's weird out here in these crypto streets. Yo, I can't believe it. Hexwood, what are we doing? What's going on? Hope you're doing well. It seems that Hex, possibly PLS for some, are considered old news. Yeah, it's considered old news. Some believe, some I've heard, from other communities call it all around old tech. Old tech. Well, old news. I get it. It's weird, man. And then you have people like if you want to just, find a different way. Maybe they call it, I don't know, it's like it's like a cheat code, with the perpetuals, right? The Maximus Collective and all that. Them too, you came out with a Maximus token. You created an opportunity, 15-year jump off and be a part of this and maximize off the rewards over a period of time, because the coins are locked up. They're not sitting somewhere liquid, right? They're not sitting anywhere liquid. They're being staked. So I asked the Maximus guys the same question. Tanto, Dipcatcher, and Goldkey, I asked y'all the same question. What do you think about what Buck said about not believing the T-share rate will magically improve the price of Hex? That goes against everything you got going on with your perpetuals. Or is it a thing too that he got your pools over there and it's like all fair and love and what? I don't understand. Like, he doesn't get any pushback or whatever. Just have a talk to share with the world, because see, people are listening, people hear, people pay attention. Some of us really do pay attention to what's being said. The good, the bad, the ugly, and indifferent. We pay attention. So Dipcatcher and Goldkey, especially Dipcatcher, right? Or not, no affront to Goldkey. I'm just saying because Dipcatcher's been he's very vocal and likes to bring up things as far as things that happen on blockchains, and he codes these the projects and the coins in his DAO. Yo, what do you think about what the guy said? No one cares, right? Okay. And I'm asking y'all this because people are trying to say that, it's RH Maxi OP. Like, it's... And it makes me think about what Richard said. Why would I, like, in so many words, Richard said, like, he's not going to support ticker symbols that are not his. By me asking Alex this question directly on a YouTube platform that he's never going to hear, and Dipcatcher and Goldkey, same question on a YouTube platform that they're never going to hear. I'm talking about coins that are not RH. So make the RH Maxi narrative make sense. What are we talking about? If you still have stakes on Ethereum, how are you a maxi when you need Ethereum? Like, weird. See the way people play with words? I tell you, folks, In any case, it's all coming to a close with this episode, people. Y'all take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your day, evening, night, wherever you are. Crypto Wonder. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.